Well, this is not an official episode of The Ancient Way.
Welcome to the bonus episode.
Yes. I always enjoy watching movies, and I've always, ever since I was a kid, I enjoyed watching like special features, like the making of.
So we're hitting the special features.
This is the special features. Yes. Because it's fun. It's fun to talk about the process and to share it.
And so people know where we're coming from.
Yeah. And I'm curious. I'm always curious about the making of things. So maybe other people are too.
What started it?
I don't know. How did this start?
For me, it started. So let's kind of go all the way back, right?
Okay.
I quit basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I was kind of in this lull state.
Yeah. But that was a pivotal decision for you.
Yeah. And letting go of all these, basketball is very time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gone a significant amount traveling, and most people are like, oh yeah, you referee like high school basketball? And you're like, yeah, that's not, if you don't know the referee world, you don't kind of really get how often you're gone.
Yeah.
All right. So during season, which is like October through March, there's very little capacity for anything else. Like it is basketball. Like you're traveling everywhere. I traveled across the United States. You're on the plane in the morning at 5 a.m. You have to take the first flight out. You work a game, and then you try and take the last flight out that night to get to your next spot, right? So you're traveling a whole lot. Anyways, so when I finally made the decision to walk away, which was a lot of money, just so everybody knows. Yeah. I'm just kidding. We don't have to put that. But it was the Lord. It was totally the Lord, and it was like letting go of a whole lot of stuff. But I got in this lull. And I was like, okay, Lord, like what's next? Mm-hmm. I know that he had put other things within me about like this business that I'm supposed to start, but I was feeling that I need another creative outlet.
Yeah.
And I had multiple dreams. Like I was in this halfway awake, halfway asleep spot in September, and there was a voice that came to me that said, your left hip is opening up. And I knew it was my ministry walk.
Yeah.
And I knew it was something that was going to open for me, that was really going to basically be my voice, the things that the Lord had put within me, and giving space for me to speak those things out. I didn't know what that looked like. And so I'd just been sitting with, there was a couple of other dreams that I had had, so I was just sitting with this stuff. Well, then you gave me a word, which I think is so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you gave me a word at church one Sunday, which I want us to put this in there.
If you have it, feel free to.
I could kind of pull it up. I did. I totally recorded it because I record all of the words that I get.
Yeah.
But
and this was like what? Was this December or January?
Yeah, I think it was December.
Had to have been December.
Yeah, because I felt like the Lord told me to go up and get a word, like because we do prophetic ministry at the church, and so felt like the Lord was like, "Hey, go." I get weird about doing that stuff.
Yeah,
because I'm like, Lord, you give me words. Like,
yeah.
But it was like, no, go.
Wasn't food.
Here we go.
Okay.
I need to start over. Okay. It wasn't food necessarily. It was lights and sources of light. And you were going through and you would like test them out, like light bulb. You would like shatter them, unscrew them, and the light would get snuffed out. You were trying all these different things. You were having fun doing it. Then I saw you went to this one light bulb and you unscrewed it and it was still lit. And you like put it in your pocket and kept it. I don't know if that career-wise, maybe what that is. But I feel like enjoying all of these things that you've done and that you do, because you're like a jack of all trades and everything that you do. But I feel like you're going to find something that you can hold and like pour into it specifically. Yeah. And then after you picked that up and carried it with you, I saw like a galaxy, but I saw like things in orbit align. Yeah. It looked like a galaxy, and planets and stuff just like lined up and was revolving around you with that light. So.
Okay, so that was the word. Maybe we can clip this out, but make it like where you can put the actual like dope word, where people, it can be totally clear.
Yeah.
But I thought that was profound, right? I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that an idea was coming. Something was coming to me.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what did that mean to you?
Yeah. So
because I just saw it,
Yeah, totally. So when you gave me that word, because you didn't have context of all these other experiences that I'd been having about like the Lord creating this space and like he was actually going to give me a new voice and like all these things so when then you said that, it was like, okay, there really is something. There is something that's going to light me up.
Yeah.
That I am actually going to hold on to. And that when you said the universe and like things begin to align, I immediately knew there was going to be an expanse.
Yeah.
There was going to be something within me that would expand. And anyways.
That's interesting. Well, even just like some of the feedback that we've gotten over the show, it is almost like an orbit created around it. It's like it's gathering.
It's gathering
people that listen to it.
Yeah. And it's gathering understanding for people.
Yeah.
Which I would never have thought that.
I mean, honestly.
Either.
No, I wouldn't have either. Maybe we sold ourselves short.
No kidding. I just wanted to talk.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about it is I gave you that word. I had no clue we were going to be doing this.
It was the next day. Do you realize this? The next day, you and I were on the phone and we were just talking.
Okay.
Because I had sent you that other podcast, Blurry Creatures.
Yeah.
Where they talk about supernatural things and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, we've got to do that. Yeah. And you were like, we could you think what? We could totally do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we could.
Yeah, it's available.
It was like the idea, the light bulb came on and I was like, yeah, it was something for me, It like lit me up.
Yeah.
So then, I was like, we've got to do it.
You see, and then when I said that, I'll throw out ideas and I mean, I want to do them. But once I throw one out, I have a hard time executing it or putting feet to it. And I get stuck. But I've nicknamed you the executioner, not because you kill people, but because you execute ideas like flawlessly and like strategically. That's a weakness of mine, big time, but you're like incredible at it.
That's why we're good partners,
yeah.
James.
Well, that's what Kelsey was like telling whenever we like, okay, so.
Tell me your side.
It was like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 3 weeks from the time. Well, it was 3 weeks from the time that
we mentioned it.
The word that you gave me, that was on, no, dude, it's even less than that. That word was December 19th.
Yeah.
Within a week, we had recorded our first episode. And we had recorded like 4 before our drop date on my birthday.
We recorded several, and there's several that didn't make it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and then I just looking back and I'm like, oh my God, we kicked out some serious content. And I'm like, how we do that? And Kelsey even is like, when I was talking to her, like, hey, we're recording an episode today. He's like, hey, we're on episode 4 or 5. She's like, y'all are dangerous. Cause like, I always have these ideas and I never finish them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she was like, y'all are dangerous. And I was like, yeah, like we're formidable.
Yeah.
In this.
We do the dadgum thing.
Yeah. We knock it out. But when I gave you that word, I had no clue what it meant for you. And I certainly had no idea that I would be like a participant in it. And here's my initial thought internally. Whenever you said, well, let's go, let's do it. And then you like scheduled the time or whatever. I was like, oh God, she's serious. And I was when I mentioned it, but I'm like, okay, well now let's just do it.
Yeah.
It was stepping out for me to do it. But in my thought process, I was like, I'm here with that word, and then I'm here to get her started on that, to get Marlia a podcast, and she's going to have that to run with, and then I'll roll off.
Yeah.
And she'll have that light bulb that she takes with her, But then when we started recording the podcast and stuff, and I didn't never tell you that, I was just like,
yeah, you never said that.
This is her show. Nobody wants to hear me. I babble a lot.
Dude, you bring the best punches. I'm the one that babbles.
No. But I was like, this is hers. And so that's why I was like, agreed to do this. It was like, I'll help get her started, and then she'll have this amazing podcast. But what I didn't know, I write a lot of stories. People probably get tired of me saying, like, I make movies, I write movies. I'm in the process of one right now for like 3 years, but it takes like a village of people to make a movie.
Yeah.
And so it puts me sometimes in this rut of I have to be patient, but it's a little bit painful because I can't put something complete out there because it requires others. It's a big machine. But I didn't know I needed this. This was healing to me.
Yeah.
Very much so. And I was like, it's a relief. That's the creative aspect of it. I needed it and I didn't know I needed it.
Totally. I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
It felt like it unleashed something for me. It was completely healing for me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But the purpose of it, I know our hearts align in this. We were like, this is for people.
Oh, yeah.
Hear. This is to inspire other people. And it's that double-edged sword, kind of like what Deborah had mentioned the other night. Like it goes both ways.
Oh, it totally did.
When the river's flowing, but this is for other people, like our listeners, whoever listens to this.
Well, that was similar. The Lord gave me a similar vision, and it wasn't about the two-edged sword, but he was showing me that when the rivers of living water come out of you and you offer drink to people, it is what brings out any kind of debris within your own person. It purges things. It brings the healing. It brings a more pure reservoir within your person, you know? And I feel like that's happened to me. I feel like there's been so many things that I got delivered of. Like I told you that the other day. The Lord told me to go back and listen to one of our podcasts. And so I just put it on. I didn't even know where it was.
Yeah.
I hit play and something I said, it brought massive deliverance to a misconception that I've had of myself for a very long time. And it was like the word of the Lord broke it off. And it was through me, which is weird. You know, the ministering, it was like my spirit was ministering to my soul is what it almost kind of felt like.
Oh, yeah.
But it's sweet. It's sweet that if you go there with the Lord, you know.
I'm so thankful for the whole experience. And my thing is like the feedback we've gotten blows me away.
I know.
And I'm like, if one person takes something out of this, like it's totally worth it, all of it.
It's only one person. I only cared about one person, honestly. I was like, I just want to hit up one person.
Yeah, that's what
one person
matters.
To come alive.
Yeah.
And realize how much God loves them and how much he wants to talk to them.
Well, almost to equip people too, to share what we've experienced and then like equip it because everybody else has their own stories and they will experience their own journey and walk with the Lord. And it's life is so valuable and full when you walk it with him. And I think that's the point of this is to spark that in other people. It's like you have all this in front of you and he's got it. He's waiting for you to basically just seek him in it.
Totally.
But
just connect. It's like one thing I feel like I've been walking through the process of is that there is so much profoundness in the simplicity of just connecting every day.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just like for an hour in the morning. I've kind of been in like this weird bubble where it has felt like I'm with him all day long.
Yeah.
Like it's been this real clarity, this real awareness that like, no, he's like enjoying the thing. Like what Laurel was talking about, just like the play aspect. Like he's playing with us in this. Like he digs when we do this. Like we've felt his physical person walk into this room at different times.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
And it's just like, it's cool. It's cool to see life becoming more in a tandem with him.
Yeah.
And I think people go through that. Like you have to kind of go through seasons of letting go of the carnal mind to get into that place, you know?
Yeah.
But what was the best thing about this past season for you?
Yeah. I don't know. Hearing that other people are taking something from it. That's it. For me, I had started writing down a list of my favorite moments.
Oh yeah,
from it, and that's something we could do this. Okay, we could cover our favorite moments first.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or we could talk about some of the backstories, like when it snowed, that whole situation.
Oh, let's hit that one first because that was so dope.
Okay. Yeah.
So dope.
Yeah. This is behind the scenes though.
Yeah.
Okay. So starting off with that, snow, the first ice day, the news is forecasting all this horrible ice. Schools were closing down.
Yeah.
Everybody had some fear from last year's Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. And we had a conversation about it. And what did you say? What did you say about snow? What snow meant to you?
Oh, yeah. So I got to go all the way back.
Yeah.
So on my 32nd birthday,
right,
111, it snowed. It was the first massive snow here. Because remember, we had those two.
Yeah.
We had like one, 3-day snow, and then we had like the 100-day snow where everything, not really 100, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's where everything shut down, everybody rolling blackouts, whatever. Well, the first one, it snowed on my birthday, and I just felt the Lord say, this is a gift. I didn't know, didn't totally get it. I was just like, okay. Well, then in July, I was reading the Bible, and this scripture jumped out at me. And part of this other backstory is that Zach has had many, many dreams with snow in it, where angels have come and will walk. They were teaching him to walk upon the snow, and how it was, the snow couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
And so we talk about it, and we didn't have full understanding about it or even what it meant. He was just like, well, that was a cool experience. And, all these things, it felt special to him, but he didn't have language for it. Well, then in July, it was July 7th, actually, 7/7/21, which I'm a numbers person, and I thought that was significant.
Yeah.
But again, I randomly read, and this is in the LEB version of scripture. It's Psalm 68:14. It says, when Shaddai scatters kings on it, and it was talking about a mountain. When Shaddai scatters kings on it, on Zalaman it snowed. Well, I looked up who Zalaman was, and Zalaman was one of David's chief warriors. And the Lord said so clearly, when I am removing the principality over a mountain, snow comes. And this is what the Lord told me. He said, I am displacing the things that have once ruled your life.
Yeah.
I am establishing that I am Lord over that mountain. And it hit me so hard, because in 2021, that was displacing principalities.
Yeah.
In the things that had ruled my own life. We sold our gym.
Yeah.
I quit basketball. The two major things that I had let dictate my life that was actually connected to my old person.
Yeah.
And I surrendered those things, and the Lord, it's snowing on my birthday, it was the gift that the Lord was saying, hey, I'm actually ruling this mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's backstory.
And that stuck with me. You told me about that. And so now, from that point on, when I see snow, I'm like, displaced principalities.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Blew my mind. Just noticed it this other day. We have this painting in our bedroom that we have had for 4 years. It is a road with snow-capped mountains leading to snow-capped mountains. And I was on the bed talking with Zach the other day, and I go, oh my God, I've never noticed that before.
For 4 years.
It is over where we sleep.
Oh,
and I was like,
wow.
babe, do you realize?
Yeah.
We've actually been living under this prophetic picture and not even fully realizing it.
That's incredible.
Oh,
that's funny.
I was lit.
Oh, yeah.
Lit. He thinks I'm crazy sometimes, but anyways, so now fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward.
To when we were supposed to have all this snow.
Yeah.
Go into that.
Well, and then, that day it didn't happen. The ice wasn't bad. End of that. Okay?
Because we prayed over it, in case anybody was wondering.
We prayed over it, and nothing happened. The roads were nothing.
Nothing happened in Tyler.
And then the next day it was 80 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a couple weeks later, whatever, we had a schedule of what episode we were going to release next. And then Marley and I talked about it. And it's why don't we we could feel like a cutting ties theme.
Oh, yeah.
With things. And it's like, why don't we do that instead?
Letting the old things go.
Or let's record that. Let's do that, and then we'll have a word for our listeners. We'll pray for our listeners and see what we get. And we recorded it, and then after that, we're like, I can't remember. We were like, well, let's release this one instead. This is the timely one. Let's do this. And we recorded it. And then we went outside to leave, and it was snowing outside. No one expected it. It wasn't forecast. And I mean, I got home that day, and I was sitting in the living room. It's like billowing, puffy, soft snow everywhere.
And they were massive snowflakes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking like bigger than a quarter.
Oh, yeah. And this was what, recently? Everybody will remember this when this is released. But like, and so the whole time I'm like, did we do something?
Well, remember in the podcast, you actually made a reference.
I know it. And this is something I always say at the beginning of it. Yeah. I almost said it, but I didn't. You need to just say what's
You need to say what's on your mind, dude. Don't hold back.
I don't know what we were talking about. And I'm like, yeah, this weather's crazy. Who knows what could happen?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? It's 80 degrees one day, freezing cold the other. And I was like, almost said, hell, it may snow tomorrow. Or it may snow today. It's in there. And that's in the cutting ties and the unraveling that follows episode.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of it. But yeah, I was thinking after that day,
and we had no idea that morning. Like, we were in here doing it, and it started snowing as we were.
When we walked out, it's like, what? A whole new world. And then, like, when I got home, that's when it was, like, heavy.
Yeah.
And it started to stick a little bit. And the whole, I couldn't think of anything else, but, like, did we displace something?
Yeah. Displacing the principalities, talking about cutting ties from your old life.
Yeah, in darkness.
And the Lord saying, like, hey, I'm actually Lord over your life.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I know it. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Maybe nothing, but
it might be everything.
It might be everything.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah. So that was a cool backdrop, behind the scenes thing that happened.
Reminds me of Laurel's walnut.
Yeah. That's right.
She had a vision of a walnut.
Yeah.
And then she goes home, and on her doorstep, which the threshold, the place of threshing, that the Lord sifts things.
There's a walnut.
There's a walnut.
And those things become a part of you as well. So the fact that she turned that into a necklace and like probably wears it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
This is the thing. You can't make it up. I mean, you could make it up.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is crazy.
You know what? If we ever get if we ever have like an official studio, you know, like Joe Rogan, he has like the table and he has all his crap on it.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get like a snow globe with like the city of Tyler in it. It would be pretty cool.
I'm actually just going to make one.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how you make a snow globe, but I think I'm going to.
Yeah, that's totally possible. Yeah.
That's dope.
That'd be cool. But
well, that's good for the listeners. Now y'all have a little context.
Yeah, backstory. And then like early on when we first started, there was some witchy stuff going on. It was real strange.
Oh, yeah. That black cat that kept following me around.
Yeah. It was just weird. That's usually what happens when you step into something that's supposed to happen. And then when you see those things, it's like, oh, good. I'm in the right direction.
For sure.
The backdrop. What? Okay, so just yesterday, I was able to only get one thing down. But I guess from our episodes, what stands out, or what are some highlights for you over the course of all of them? Like, is there some things that stand out, or favorites, or highlights? I guess is the best term for it.
A theme that I felt that I could see through every single episode is the relentless pursuit of God's goodness over every single person's life.
Yeah,
over our lives, over our guests' lives, like. Yeah, it was sweet. It was sweet to see people come on this podcast.
Yeah.
Which I also find to be interesting. The people, how the Lord orchestrated who we had come on and how he opened it all up. Every single person that I have talked to that has been on this podcast has said something opened up for me in being able to. And I feel like it's because people were able to give voice to things.
Yeah.
Like this is a platform for people to actually open up a well within them to let the river out. And it's purifying.
It is.
Like one specific guest, was telling me that they had mass deliverance of their person after they came on here.
Yeah.
Something unlocked for them, and they didn't know that they were carrying a misconception about themselves.
Yeah.
But they point blank said there was something once I got on y'all's podcast that something came unlocked.
Release, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I think is so dope. That's like my favorite that I've heard. I've heard from multiple people.
Yeah.
That there was something to it for them.
Definitely.
And I find that to be so sweet. I think it's sweet that the Lord created a platform for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, platform. I hate that word too.
I do too.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Space.
Yeah.
Space.
Yeah.
It's not like we're Joe Rogan, but.
No, but it was, not the intention.
No.
But that's kind of like the other theme that was up in a couple of episodes was belief and belief making way for things to happen. That's what this is, really, that we didn't, who knew?
Yeah.
But
we just went out on the limb.
We made space.
Yeah.
And it's done things, and it's, well, even the lights that we were seeing.
Totally.
God, who'd have thought that? And just, it's definitely stirred things up.
It stirred a lot in my own person.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Same.
Stirred so much up.
Same here. Do you want to know the one that I wrote down?
Yeah.
So I was going back through Anthony's episode. Brace yourself. This is not as cool as you would think. It was what I took the time to pause it to write down the term meat machine.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I wrote down as a highlight. That's it. Yeah.
Because he called our bodies a
Shot
meat
that
machine.
down. Yeah. Hope you weren't expecting anything too profound, but for some reason.
I was waiting for the depths.
I was, that cracked me up when he said that. Because I completely forgot about it. It's like we were going to coin that phrase.
Meat machine.
Yeah. Gosh. That's as far as I got.
That's hysterical.
That's not everything that stands out to me. But that's what I wrote down.
One of my favorite moments was Mel's story about her grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
Like.
That one hit.
It's all about love. Like. I am a type of person that while I appreciate things that are coined and termed and language that's constantly used, I also loathe the fact that we miss the essence of it. Like we just become so familiar.
Yeah.
There was somebody I heard once that said we get so familiar with a God that we hardly know.
Yeah.
And that's when she talked about it like it's all about love, I could feel the essence of like, oh no, this God I know.
To the core of what that is. And what it means.
And getting outside of the familiar of like, oh yeah, I love you, man. I love you, man.
Yeah.
It's like, no. It was just that.
Yeah. Well, then in Anthony's episode, him as a kid in the bathtub, like, God, what is God's greatest superpower?
Yeah.
Same thing. It's love.
Yeah.
And him having that profound experience and then going to tell his mom, like, I found out what it is. I know what it is. It's love. And we all have it. He put it inside of us. Yeah. It reinforces and that diluted what it's been turned into, what the
diluted language.
Familiarity of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
to be engrossed in it.
Yeah. Those stories take you back to what it really is, the fullness of it.
Yeah, the foundation of everything.
I love Melanie, that story. That was getting me.
Yeah.
And just the fact, like saying that they allowed, her grandmother was allowed to come back and just share stuff with her.
Totally.
Because, something that you always think about. I've never had any like super close deaths. I have went into kind of what would happen if that happened. And I'm fully, like, my foundation is the Lord.
Yeah.
With anything. And so I feel like I'm good no matter what happens, But, you think about it. And I've had family members show up in my dreams that I wasn't super close to, but when they showed up, I was like, okay, you're coming back from, and like eating with them and stuff. And so, I don't know, that was encouraging to me to hear that.
The other, I agree. I really enjoyed her stories. I could relate to so many of them.
Yeah.
But the other thing was Sarah's.
Mm-hmm.
I have had so many people tell me that it opened up dreams for them.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've had people text me saying like, "Hey, I started to have prophetic dreams again. They had been squashed. I didn't think I had prophetic dreams. I didn't think I heard from God in dreams.
Yeah.
But listening to Sarah's episode, it like unlocked them.
Oh, cool.
I had somebody send me a message that was like, "Hey, my kid has always had nightmares and prayed that they would never have them again. But I got to talk to them and tell them like, hey, you actually have a prophetic gift.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is a part of God communing with you, but the enemy has stolen it.
Yeah.
So ask for the good dreams." And like got to like come at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And like being able to unlock your own kids. I was like, that is just so, it was so encouraging to me.
Oh, yeah. And Sarah even she inspired me just with the substance of dreams. And then even Kelsey, like coming up and like, it sparked conversation with us about dreams. And like she started writing them down and she started there was one weekend she had like 4 extremely amazingly detailed dreams. But yeah, I feel like Sarah has that ability. I bet it's an authority and its ability to impart dreams to people.
Totally.
I mean, obviously, even through this, but I bet she could,
Oh, yeah, dude.
So that, yeah.
Because she really is a true prophetic dreamer. Like,
and another thing that stood out to me about that episode and Sarah was her fearlessness and her heart for other people of just stepping out.
Yeah.
And to do it in such a natural,
humble way.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not like over the top. It's just like, she's such a light to be around.
Definitely. And I don't think I'd ever hardly spoken to her except here. And so I'm like a kid, like listening to all these amazing dreams and stories and stuff. It was great.
Yeah.
Very inspiring.
They definitely, even for me, I've always loved dreams.
Yeah.
But it actually made me, I had several about a friend of mine. And they were very specific. And then I hadn't talked to this friend in a long time.
Yeah.
And then I had somebody else that sent me a text that was like, "Hey, I randomly ran into your old friend." Anyways, it was literally it was the dreams that I had had.
Yeah.
And in the dream, this old friend of mine actually came to me and this other person and was talking to us. And so then in real life, it was like 3 weeks later, this person come to me and be like, "Hey, I had actually talked to your friend."
Yeah.
Anyways, but for when Sarah shared her letting the Lord create space to then speak that in, it like really encouraged me. So I was like, "Okay, Lord, like I want you to create the space."
Yeah.
Like I'm open. Like let me hit that up when you, and then I ended up having an opportunity on it.
Yeah.
But it encouraged me so much from Sarah's that I got to like reach out to my old friend and like actually give her the prophetic word that was from the dream. And anyways, it was fascinating to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just ran in circles because I don't want to name drop, but yeah, it was just cool. It was cool to see how it played out in the dream. Then to have the opportunity based on what Sarah said, it was like it brought it to my forefront.
Yeah.
The forefront of my mind to just be aware of that. But
yeah, for sure.
I think the other thing I loved was Alan's, it was like this pure, I don't know, just the story about the Lord giving him that dream.
Oh, I know it.
I felt like I was there with it. You know?
I did too. And that one we recorded like at night.
Oh,
we
yeah,
had
and we had the lights off.
The music, and having Alan here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt, yeah.
That was one night I could feel the presence of the Lord.
Definitely.
Like his actual person.
Definitely.
With us.
Yeah. Yeah, his story, I had never heard that before. That was so sweet and so simple. But just the Lord moving through him in such a simple manner. But just, yeah, profound.
but really speaking destiny over him.
Mm-hmm.
And it,
Oh yeah.
like, for me, I feel like that's available. The Lord speaking your destiny over you is available to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that thing can come in so purely.
Yeah.
It's just being open and
Yeah.
being innocent like a child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it literally came to him as a kid.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, definitely. But yeah, there's patterns with everybody too. The consistency in it all is the Lord as he's there.
Yeah.
Open arms, or even after you.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I also, you know, our guests are dope.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like just the things that you and I kind of got into.
Oh yeah.
Like the stories of Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just going into them. Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh yeah.
I felt my person expand just being
Same.
able to talk about the stories.
Go into it, watch it, and talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's so much. They're so substantial. It's more than just words. You live it. You can go into it and live in it, and see him and watch him in it.
Yeah.
Gosh, even the things that we talked about are like, could you imagine how he builds a fire? Like the little things that he would do here. Like it's his creation.
Yeah.
So you just imagine him functioning with it and interacting with the world and with people. It probably doesn't look like what we all do, you know, or we're accustomed to. It's like he probably built a fire with water or something just silly, you know?
Yeah.
But it's fun to go into those things. Oh God. And then like Laurel's interactions with him before she knew him.
Oh yeah,
in the spirit realm, the dreams, and with her garden, like him just like being so playful.
Dude,
Golly.
the garden into the forest into the harvest.
Yeah, the field.
The field of wheat.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's taken right out of scripture, and she had never even heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, which she didn't say in the podcast, I don't think. She did not know about Christianity growing up.
Yeah.
That was like not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she wasn't raised in a Christian home.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had told her the gospel. Like, she's just like a free bird.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. It's
extremely biblical stories she had before she even knew about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she like got swallowed up in the Bible.
Uh-huh.
The living word is really what she did.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Her stories really light me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really light me up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love that. The authority that everybody has. Her specifically, when I just think of that authority that she has.
Yeah, man.
Too. Just.
She really can get into the depths of the spirit because she's not bound by this religious grid.
And that's, because a lot of people have to walk out of that or out of the pain or damage of, you know.
Because there's so much of a bad dad theology that she didn't have that. She didn't have to like go through this horrific teaching, which I feel like is demonic.
Yeah.
That God is evil and that God is bad and he doesn't want anything good for you. She didn't have to walk through that.
No.
That's why I think she can go into the depths so easily.
Yeah.
I think the rest of us are on our way.
Yeah.
I really do.
Definitely.
But she's just so unencumbered. She's the most free person.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's inspiring.
It really is.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, we had some other topics. We had a list. We would talk about different things that we were going to talk about. And then we agreed to do like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Call it a season. But good thing is we can have another season.
We're going to roll out season 2.
Or 3 or 4 or 5. We can keep going. And so.
We'll see.
Yeah. More guests, the same guests. But like I said, one of my favorite things about this whole experience is hearing how it touched people.
Yeah.
And hearing feedback.
For sure.
So if anybody listens to this, like feel free to reach out and like suggest anything. If there's a topic you want us to talk about, we'll talk about it, you know?
We're open.
What are you interested in? Like what should we talk about? Yeah, we're totally open.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm just so thankful for the whole entire thing.
Thanks for listening to this season, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate every single listener.
Yep.
Every single person that created time, because I think that's the most valuable asset. And when people create time and capacity to receive something, I find that to be a great honor.
Yeah.
Like, I think that that's the way that we honor people, is creating our time for them. And so for every single listener who has taken the time, who's created space to listen to us, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very cool.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you next season then.
Next season where we're full grown.
Season 2. Yeah.